Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE NXT episode 542, which was the 2019 Year End Awards. This is broadcast on New Year's Day 2020, that's January 1st. So Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully all of 2020, or as much of 2020 as possible, goes well for all of you, and I'll keep you posted here how it's going over here. All right, so let's talk. I'm going to basically tear through this because there's not. I'm not going to talk about the matches themselves that were shown on this episode. We had the top three as voted by whoever, by Twitter, etc. But they also said we also got some top journalists involved with stuff too, so it might have all been rigged anyway. But anyway, match number 3 was the Tag Team Championship ladder match from TakeOver 25. This was the 4 teams of Undisputed Era, Street Profits, Forgotten Sons, and Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. So I had not seen this match since it was broadcast. Pretty much, and this was the only takeover, the only regular NXT takeover that I did not see live. But I had forgotten how awesome this match was. There's all kinds of insane stuff within the first few seconds of the replay version of it. I was like, oh my god, why are they throwing each other onto ladders? That's because it's a ladder match, that's why. But that was when the Street Profits won. Yeah, the Street Profits won the championships in that match. So that was voted as the number 3 best match of the year. Tag Team of the Year, coming right out of that. I voted for the Undisputed Era. I forget if I went through all of what I voted for. I posted it on Twitter at JKire. That was my personal Twitter at JKIRE. So I'm going to say for each of these categories, I'm going to say who I voted for and then who actually won. My success rate is pretty good, I feel like. So I was off to a really confident start, especially because I nailed these first 2 categories, and for most of these, they had those people come out to the ring to have it presented to them by William Regal. So that was a pretty cool thing. There's some they're able to progress some story a little bit and all that kind of thing. So I enjoyed that part of this episode. So I voted for the Undisputed Era, and the winner was the Undisputed Era. And they talked about how in any combination they're a great tag team. Which has been pretty true so far. Like when Roderick Strong swapped in to take Bobby Fish's place just 2 months ago, I think. Maybe even less than 2 months ago. But Kyle O'Reilly, he says, "We're so undisputed, I can't even handle it." I really liked that quote. And that is where the name of this episode is. I'm going to name this episode So Undisputed. So that's what that's from. The male performer or competitor of the year, I voted for Adam Cole, and the winner is Adam Cole. As they're coming out, all the Undisputed Era came out for this award. Kyle O'Reilly was using his award that he had just gotten like a DJ's turntable. He's scratching the record as he was coming out. So I really like that. Kyle O'Reilly is just entertaining all the time, every time. So anyway, I was trying to remember. I spaced out there trying to remember the what is it? Death Panther? It's not called Death Panther. Sex Panther. That's what it is from Anchorman. It works 30% of the time, all the time, or whatever it was. Anyway, female competitor of the year, I voted for Rhea Ripley, and the winner, you know what? I'm realizing this now. How in the world's okay? Rhea Ripley didn't win any of these awards. I am baffled. I don't understand. But anyway, the winner is Shayna Baszler. She comes out and says that she's not going to be not champion for long, basically. So we'll see what happens when we get back into the live shows next week. And I will be there for the show next week. I'm super excited. Or I'm planning on it anyway. Which you might have you might have noticed that this episode sounds different than the last whole bunch of episodes, and that's because I am recording directly to my computer and seeing how all of this goes. Hopefully, maybe even adding some music and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how all that will work once I get when I'm on the road for shows. If I'm gonna take my laptop with me and record onto there, and then do all the editing on the laptop or whatnot, or just wait until I get back, or just not have music and stuff. I haven't decided any of that at all yet, but if I at least start off the year doing as many episodes with the best quality that I'm able to do, at least from a technical standpoint. I don't know if any of these episodes are actually like quality as far as content goes, but anyway, rivalry of the year. I voted for Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler, but the winner of it was Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. And Johnny says, well, this is my second year in a row winning this award, so clearly I get involved with a lot of terrible people. And then he says he regrets that his father didn't punch Adam Cole in the face when Adam visited their restaurant. The number 2 match. So that's the second award for Adam Cole. That's the third award for Undisputed Era for 2019. The War Games women's match is the number 2 best match of the year, and they showed a whole lot of it, and I had to give my full attention to the Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox portion of the match. The rest of it, I was just kind of I was cooking dinner during this part of the show. So I wasn't giving the entire match my full attention, but when that part of the match happens, I stopped what I was doing, went over and watched it. Full focus. Let's see. So the Future Star, next up, I almost skipped this next part. Future Star, I voted for Kushida just because he's a time traveler, and that was mostly a joke voting for him, because I should have chosen the person who did win, and the winner is Dakota Kai. And she comes out, gets the award from William Regal, and she says, everyone who voted for me is just late to the party. I thought that was pretty good. Then the best takeover, I voted for War Games, and the winner was War Games. So War Games came out and was presented with the award by William Regal, and he went, War Games, you win the best takeover for Takeover War Games. That was dumb. I'm sorry. They did not show anybody coming out to take that award. Then the breakout star, I voted for Keith Lee, and the winner was Keith Lee. And Keith Lee accepts the award and says, "You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet." Is that? I don't. Maybe I have the wrong song. That might not be the lyrics to that song. That song. I don't know. Match of the year. They just went right into showing it because they already counted down the number 3 and number 2 matches. I picked Io Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae from TakeOver Toronto. But the winner was Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, 2 out of 3 falls from TakeOver New York back WrestleMania weekend, which was a really great match. But personally, my favorite is what I voted for. That's why I voted for it. But for that is really hard to choose anyway, because all of the nominees were friggin' awesome. So there you go. They showed pretty much that entire match. Went into overrun, which I thought was interesting for being a clip show type of thing. But we ended with the overall performer of the year. I voted for Rhea Ripley because I thought, I voted for her for 2 things, and she didn't win either of them. I voted for her for female and some other stuff. I voted for her also, but the winner was Adam Cole, baby. So the match of the year, that was his 3rd win, and it was Undisputed Era's 4th win, and then being overall performer or competitor was his 4th, and Undisputed Era's 5th win. So all of Undisputed Era won awards. They won all the awards that they could possibly win. But unfortunately, Roderick Strong did not win any because he was not eligible to win any because he wasn't part of the tag team. He's not permanent part of the tag team, but he is with Freebird rules, so he can swap in there, as we have seen recently. But so I guess technically he did win that, but yeah, I'd say that counts. He was part of that win, but they only had the 2 trophies, so he didn't have or plaques or the golden bells. So he didn't have one of his own. But luckily, Adam Cole won so many of them. So like when Adam Cole won his first one for male performer of the year or competitor of the year, I thought I tweeted like, that means Roderick Strong, he's not going to win any. He's like Chewbacca in A New Hope after the Battle of Yavin. He's the only one on stage there without a medal. But because Adam Cole won 4 of them total, we end the show with Roderick Strong holding 2 of Adam's golden bells. So it's like the most gold that we've seen on screen ever in a final shot of episode of NXT, because they have six of those plaques total, and of course all the championships, and that's a pretty cool way to start off 2020. I almost said 2019 again, but I really enjoyed this episode to kick off the year. I'm really excited for NXT. Just next week, I'm really excited for, but also coming up. Oh, also the Dusty Classic. Where did I put my phone? I took a picture of the screen on my phone. I guess I could look it up real quick. Let's see. Dusty Classic 2020. Okay, here we go. Why am I going to this website? I'm going to close that website just to open that image. Okay. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic 2020. It's NXT versus NXT UK. I'm curious if that means that the finals for this will take place on at Worlds Collide. That would be super awesome because I'm going to be there for that. So I hope that's the case. We'll see. But for NXT, we have Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. We have Forgotten Sons. What are their names? Wesley Blake and what's Cutler. Something Cutler. Blake it's not Blake Cutler. Oh, they're a fulfilling prophecy with their name. I always forget at least something about them. Mostly, I forget that they exist in the first place. But Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, a strange pairing there, and then Kushida with a mystery partner. Could be John Morrison. That would be great. It could also be Tyler Breeze, because I guess Fandango is hurt again. I don't know a lot about that. So if you're curious about that, I just saw like that in the comments, like when somebody said, "Oh, Breezango isn't in this. What the heck?" And I saw that was the reason why. I didn't look into it further than that. Sorry about that. And then the NXT UK side, these are all previously established teams, so I think they all have advantages over at least half of the regular NXT teams. But we have grizzled young veterans. Of course, I'm not going to try to remember their name. Why can't I remember? I should remember their names. I'm looking right at their faces. Why can't I remember? It's been so long since I've watched NXT UK. I feel really bad about that. Gallus, we have Mark Coffey and Wolfgang. Imperium is the 7th team in the tournament. We have Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel representing their faction, and then the Welshmen, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster, are the final team in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So I think we're gonna get some pretty awesome matchups there. I'm really excited for that, and like I said, I hope that this concludes at Worlds Collide. It would make sense for it to, right? That's like NXT versus NXT UK, which would mean that we need to have all 4 of these matches next week on NXT to be able to make this happen, because there's only 3 episodes between now and Worlds Collide, and only 4 episodes of NXT UK. Then there's also NXT UK Takeover that takes place before then. So I think that might be why none of them are holding the championships, right? Who is the UK? Yeah, it's currently Gallus, but their picture, they don't have the championships in their picture. But anyway, we have Takeover Blackpool 2 before Worlds Collide happens, so that would be a pretty crazy week. Although it's on a Sunday, so that is plenty of time to get there and back, there and back if they have to compete on either Wednesday before or after that, whatever. I don't know what the card is for that at all. I am going to starting tomorrow. I'm just going to jump right in. I'm not going to catch up on all the episodes that I missed. I'll just pick up on what's going on. Jumping into NXT UK to get ready for NXT TakeOver Blackpool 2. NXT UK. Yeah, I said that right. So yeah, I long way of saying it and repeating myself again here. I hope that the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Tag Team Classic, culminates at Worlds Collide, because that would be awesome. All right. So yeah, that's everything. Let me know what you thought about this episode of NXT and this episode of the podcast by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.